It's a super late Casimir. Hey, I've been doing so much shiz you would not believe. I've been loading up the Casimiric tune cannon. I've been to a festival this afternoon already. I've been to 2.
You're listening to the
That's me.
Ka. Isn't that so 90s?
You think so?
It's the Casimir engine.
It's not ka.
And this is Into the Blood off of Denmark with Stars in Your Hand.
Your horizon crumble once again.
You're listening to Casimir
and draw a new year out of pain. Around all the corners it shows the same. Of women with keys to secret rooms, drawn by the fragility you grew. Behind your eyes and in your mood, they sucked up your heart and now it is sweet. And all of your love like you, let it bleed, let it bleed. Feel the stars in your hand. Spread out your light, make it dance. Sleep with the stars in your hand. Let out the dark from your past.
Oi! Casimir engine!
Silence finds no way in you to stay. You rush to push your clouds away. Embrace who you are and let love in. And always smile back at you again with no strain. Stars in your hand. Spread out your light, make it dance. Speak with the stars in your hand. Let out the dark from your past. Just never give in and never give up your fight. And spread out your arms and reach for the morning light. Make it dance, dance,
That was Into the Blood with Stars in Your Hand, and they've got a new single out already. So where you been then, Kaz? What you been blathering about at? Well, I tell you what, we've been doing interviews. We've been to visit some new friends based in Tansley, which is a village just outside of Matlock. And we've been having a chat with Neil, who runs a business called Newtone Strings. What do they make, Kaz? Guitar strings. Well, it says guitar strings, and then there's a massive list of all the machines. I was going to say machines then. All the instruments, what they make strings for. Here you go. Electric guitar, acoustic guitar, banjo, mandolin, mandola, mandocello. Never heard of one of them. Bouzouki, lap steel, pedal guitar, national guitar strings, resonator guitar strings. There you go. But you need like a professional person to tell you all about it. So I'm going to hand over to the expert, Mr. Guitar Strings himself, and he's going to tell you, and then I'm going to chip in with the most ridiculous questions you've ever heard in your life. I had no idea how you make guitar strings, and I'm hoping that you lot don't either, because if not, I'm going to look a right Charlie. Also, later on, well, this week coming, so this is, I think it's 8th of July, I'll be interviewing Richard from the Flying Childers. He's got a festival next weekend, on next Friday, called Stantonbury. So we're going up there to have a chat with him.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show, recorded live in front of a studio audience.
So we're dropping down into the beautiful countryside of Derbyshire. I'm just looking down into the valley. I've got Ryber Castle on the left-hand side, and then I've got a bit of moorland on. It's not a geography lesson, Kaz. Crikey, O'Reilly. What are you doing? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're heading to a small town called Tansley, where apparently there's a guy who makes guitar strings. It's not something that you come across very often, I don't think, anyway. But there's a guy in the depths of the Derbyshire Dales who makes guitar strings. So we've got a chat with Newtone Strings, who are based on an industrial estate. So I'm just making my way there now. Okay, so we're approaching an industrial estate called Brookfield Park. So where do we go from here? Straight down. Right. Hopefully I've got the right number. I forgot my car keys, that's handy. Here we go.
Hello.
Newtone Strings.
That's the one.
I found you.
How do you do it?
One of these days, there'll be nothing left for you to lose. So come what may, you formed your fate. Now the time is right for you to choose. Don't underestimate. 'Cause now that you know, 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 now that you know for you. Propaganda, slander, subterfuge will implicate. I thought that we were mates. Now the time is right for you to choose. Don't overcomplicate. 'Cause now that you know, 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 now that you know for you.
Thanks for
No problem.
agreeing to do the Casimir Engine Show podcast. I've got to ask, why is there a company in Matlock, or in Tansley I should say, why is there a company making guitar strings? How did you get involved in that?
I fell into it straight out of school, at college.
Yeah?
One of the technicians at college, he used to work for Newtone, and as I was finishing, his old job were up for grabs, and I says, I'm not going to uni, I'm going to look for a job. And he just happened to say, I know a job going. They were on the doorstep in Hena, where it was founded.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the original business was still called Newtone Strings,
yeah?
How long had that been going?
Since 1985.
Right, okay.
So, and then this was 2000. So I went straight in there. 15 years later, the old man retired and I took over, and we ended up moving here.
Are you from Matlock?
No, from Hena.
Oh, you're from Hena?
Yeah.
You're travelling back the way I've just come. Brilliant.
Well, when you said you were just leave it up, and I thought we could have met halfway.
We could really, couldn't we? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not really. I think I was so interested in seeing this. I've been looking around on your Facebook site, and there's a list of some instruments that I've never ever heard of. So, is there a Balalaika on there or something, and the bouzouki? And
We do anything steel strung, basically, apart from pianos.
Oh, right. Okay.
So any kind of handheld instruments, from 3-string cigar box guitars, 1-string diddly bows,
Yeah.
up to 9-string basses, 13-string basses, sorry, or your multi-scale, extra long scale length, crazy inventions that somebody's come up with and then realise they can't get strings for,
Oh, right.
and then we can do it.
We get, for the people who aren't into music, of course, what strings can you can get? Steel strings and nylon.
Yeah. So your nylon's mainly for like your classical style instruments, and then that also includes your violins and violas, all that orchestral kind of stuff. But we do steel strings, so the main majority of stuff is just standard guitar type strings.
Okay.
So acoustic and electric guitar.
Yeah.
But again, with any kind of customised craft industry, because it's not mass produced, we've got the option to custom make and fine tune for anybody, which you just literally can't get from anywhere else, because there are people selling custom sets, but all they're doing is just picking singles, different sizes to put into a set.
Yeah.
Where we custom make strings to how you need them, to either a specific length, a specific tuning, alter the core to wrap ratios. We'll do anything. We've got all the material. We've got round cores, we've got hex cores, we've got phosphor bronze, 8-20 bronze, nickel and stainless steel, and we can do any combination however you want.
It's a science.
Isn't so I mean, all the mass manufacturers just concentrate on what they can sell in bulk.
Yeah.
What sells. If it doesn't sell, they stop making it.
Okay.
But we have the stuff listed on the website, and we've made probably 3 sets of some of them. But there's somebody out there who wants
3 sets of
Well, you
strings
might have done,
forever.
Yeah, you might have done, because it's just listed on the website, and we make them as they order them.
Okay.
But that set might be perfect for somebody that they literally cannot get from anywhere else, but they can order them from us and we'll make them. It's don't cost any more.
Unbelievable.
It's not.
I can play 3 chords.
Right.
And my knowledge of music is absolutely minuscule. I used to like the Human League, so you can see where I'm coming from. Okay. You get the windy ones.
Yep.
At the top.
Yep.
But it's apparently the bottom.
Yeah.
But I don't know about it. I don't know. But and then you've got the steel ones.
Yes.
And you make both of those.
Yeah.
So what's a windy one?
A windy one, I'll show you.
Ooh, hang on, I've got to go with you. Oh, right. Oh, what we got? Oh, we got a guitar neck.
Bass neck, 4 strings on it, showing you the extremes of what we produce. So you've got a plain plain 8th thou string.
Yeah.
That goes to a plain 26th thou string.
Okay.
And next to that is a wound 16th thou.
Hang on a minute. Let me get my specs on.
Wound 16.
Oh yeah, that is wound. You can't tell.
And that is a wound 275.
Good grief. That's like
As thick as the
Twin and Earth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who plays that?
They went on as 13-string bass.
4 strings too many for me. No, what, 13?
Yeah.
Wow.
Plank of wood with loads of strings on. But
And I take
but-
that's the heaviest string that you'd ever make.
Yeah. And so anything in between those. Obviously, your plain strings is just literally a tin-plated steel piece of wire.
Yeah.
Specific music wire, similar to spring wire. And you just put a ball end on, cut it to length, and that's your plain string. Your wound strings, it's the same piece as your plain wire, but then you wrap a material over the top of it.
Okay. And can that be? I mean, that one they're all silver.
Yeah.
And normally they're kind of brass.
Yeah.
Is that for thickos like me, so I can tell which ones to put where?
An acoustic guitar would have phosphor bronze, which are the brassy kind of ready coloured ones. These are actually stainless steel, just because it's like a demo piece when I do shows.
Yeah.
They're not going to rust if it's stainless steel.
Yeah.
But bass players particularly like stainless steel because it's really bright, and especially for the really thick, low tunings, it just adds a lot of harmonics back into the tone. Because basically when they're that thick, you're not getting a fundamental note because the speakers can't actually handle it.
Oh, okay.
So it's tuned
It's
that low.
too low.
Yeah. So
it's sub bass.
Yeah.
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 The ravers are like it, won't they?
Oh yeah. Well, it's all the Matlers. They like to detune. They like to go really low.
Yeah.
So yeah, the lower the better as far as they're concerned.
Okay. Right. So on a basic string, then they're not the wound one.
Yep.
Where do you start? Do you start with a massive, great big lump of metal?
Yeah. We buy the wiring. Comes from America.
Oh, we're in a cupboard. Yeah.
Cupboard room. So this is all your core material over here. So
what, all of these?
Yeah. You've got one row is all round core.
Yeah.
This one, all round.
Yeah.
The one underneath is hexagonal. They're all on these drums which are about 10-inch diameter. There's a few thousand kilometres of wire on there.
But that's not if you would put that on a guitar and it's not in tune or anything. Well, I suppose it would be a note, but it could be.
Yeah, well, it depends. Obviously, the thin end is your plain string. So, what guitarists are familiar with are like 9s, 10s, 11s as your first string.
Yeah,
and then it goes up to the thick 28th hour core stuff that we use in bass strings.
Okay.
We've also got high tensile phosphor bronze wire. I'll show you. So, like your acoustic guitar strings, which are the bronzy reddy colour, it's plain wire.
Oh, right.
The same material, and they go on sitars and similar Indian style instruments.
So, when was the last time you had a sitar in here?
Not had one in here.
You say it like
Rob,
this afternoon or something.
Rob has repaired one.
Yeah.
And say we sold some of the phosphor bronze wire to a massive music shop in India.
Oh wow!
So because they can't actually get the quality that we can produce, that's made in England. The phosphor bronze wire is so all the phosphor bronze 80-20 bronze wrapping wire, the high tensile phosphor bronze, and our nickel plated steel wrapping wire is all British made.
Yeah.
The stainless steel we have to get from America. Mainly because same as the core wire comes from America, because there's companies that are producing that wire specifically for musical instruments, musical instrument manufacture, so we can buy one bobbin off the shelf and they can just send it us.
Yeah.
Where if it was to get somebody in Britain from Sheffield to make it, it'd be a special order,
Yeah.
minimum order, several tons. And we've got 2 bobbins of 1/8 thou there that are £20 in weight each, and they could last me 10 years.
Yeah, Tinsley wire aren't going to do that, are they?
No.
So you've got all of this stock,
Yep.
and then you've got to make it into
Yep.
a guitar string.
Into a string.
So you take, like you said, you've got your top strings.
Yep.
I'm getting the hang of this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You've got your top string. So you take a top string.
Yep.
How do you get that into tune?
That gets cut into a length, so it's just literally measured on a wheel.
Yeah.
And that gives us a length which is slightly longer than the machines. From there, we go to our little handmade devices,
Oh wow,
which
that is incredible! I have not seen one of them for a long time. Well, I've never seen one of them before in my life, but that's a hand drill.
yeah,
God, I can remember using them to drill holes in wood. Never mind in metal or brick.
well that's it. So you've got your length of wire come off the drum.
Okay, so that's cut to length for a...
Yeah, it's about 1.2 metres long.
Yeah.
So everything we do is imperial because the Americans.
Oh right,
Four
yeah.
thousandths of an inch. Obviously, the Americans lead the industry, so
Yeah. They're not going to change for us, are they?
everything.
We'll have to change after Brexit.
Yeah.
We'll all go back to imperial.
Well, that's it. And we're alright. We ain't got to change again. Yeah. So you take your.
So that's one of the brass or phosphor bronze, yeah.
Well, that's just a ball end.
Yeah.
A lot of companies just use brass ball ends for everything. It's just like a little brass ferrule. It's about 4mm round.
Yeah.
That goes on the drill. Hook the wire around it. Clamp it down. Twist it together. Snap the end off.
And that's a guitar string.
And that is basically a plain guitar string.
That's
Full length.
incredible.
So if that was the plain...
You're thinking that's not incredible, aren't you?
Well,
but to me,
exactly.
you've just made a
Nobody
guitar
else gets
string.
to see these things. So,
No.
So that would literally just go straight onto the guitar. There's a
Yeah.
plain... That one's a 13th hour, so that would be like a second string on a set of
Yeah.
electric 10s. Or that would be the call for a wound 24 plain string.
Yeah.
Wound string on a G string on a guitar.
Okay, so you're buying in the raw stock.
Yep.
That's kind of it's the right material.
Yeah, it's just
for
the right size. Yeah, the right
Yeah.
material that comes from America.
So you don't have to stretch it or anything to
No.
give it any kind of tune or anything like that.
Nope, that's all done on the instrument.
That's
afterwards.
just completely done on the instrument. Okay. All right. So that's your basic, and then after that, your other high-tech piece of kit is that just to produce?
No, they're just both the same.
Yeah.
They're just putting the ball ends on because, say, literally everything we do is done by hand.
Yeah.
I'm looking at possibly getting an automatic ball ending machine, but that does 1,000 an hour, so we'd have some work to do if we got one of them running.
Yeah.
But it'd be good because it'd increase our production.
Yeah.
But they are a lot of money. So.
Okay. So to put the winding on top of that to make that into a bottom string.
Yep.
You've got another piece of kit. We've got to walk all the way over.
Well, go one in. Just so happens.
He's quite compact, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. This is roomy compared to where we started.
Oh right, where were you before?
In
Hena?
Yeah, it was an old co-op shop, and we were in the kitchens at the back. So
whereabouts was that?
in Stainsby Avenue. So it was just at the back end of Hena.
Yeah.
And we literally just rented what was the old kitchen, so it was just like a galley kitchen room. So you were literally on top of each other.
And this where we're looking now, it looks like a lathe.
Yep,
Yeah.
basically
It's
like
got
a lathe.
motor. You've got a motor on.
You've got
this
two
one.
spinning ends rather than one spinning end on a normal lathe, so that both ends spin together. Because you hook the wire on one end, tie it on the other end, and then put it under some tension.
Oh right, yeah.
So that's effectively like a plain note. This is where it gets quite noisy.
Oh right, okay.
And then if you go back and get your wrapping wire
Oh, back in the.
back in the little cupboard. So again, we stock a range of sizes from 4/1000 of an inch all the way up to 24/1000 of an inch. If it's a really thick string, you put in just more wraps on, build up the layers.
Oh, not thicker.
No,
Thicker.
on a guitar it is just a single wrap, but
Yeah.
on a bass guitar you're going to have 2, 3, sometimes 4 wraps.
Yeah.
But it's all basically the same procedure, whatever you do. So you've got mini bobbins. So this would be an acoustic string across from the wire. Runs on there, straight up and over.
This is like how? Are you old enough to remember how?
Oh yeah, how to? Gaz Jones, legend.
Oh, I'm before him.
Oh right.
I'm talking about the bloke who used to talk about Tench with the beard and the pipe.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm going way, way back.
Yeah, so you secure the wire,
Yeah.
the ball end, and then there's a foot pedal on the machine that
Yeah.
operates it, and it's pretty loud.
Okay, fire away.
To see you're alone, I wish I could be here tonight. So pleasant dreams or uncertainties. Who wins the fight? Did you know? I wish you did another time. No matter what we say, it's not the end, I know. No matter where we've been tonight, it's time to let go. No matter what we learn, another life unknown. We'll never know the answers right. And now the world's away, keeping you from me. A ride lost in time. And so will I show. I wish I could another time. Another night like that, to celebrate alone, doesn't make the sentence right. That forbidden zone, lying there alone.
I can't believe. Right, I can't believe you've just done all that by hand.
Yeah.
Why haven't you got like a digital guide, or because you don't need it, do you really? But how long does it take you to be able to do that?
Off and on 6 months, because you've got to learn to handle the wire, getting the ball ends on, because the wire, because it's very springy. If you've handled guitar strings, you know how it flirts. And, so once you start getting used to the wire, then you start having to go on the machine. Start with a medium size wrapping wire, so you can see what you're doing, get a feel for it, and then you work either way. You get thicker and get thinner, because each string's got a different size wrapping wire on, as well as having a different core. So it's just learning to handle the difference and knowing the tension and the feel for it.
So we've got that was originally whatever it was.
Yeah.
Is it a different note?
It would be
now. Right. Okay.
So that would be now, say, a D string.
Yeah.
Where before it was a plain string, it would be a B string.
And if you put a thicker wire on, it goes lower again.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
if you were
amazing.
just to use thicker and thicker plain wire, it wouldn't be under that much tension. It'd just snap the instrument.
Right, okay, so that was what I've always wondered, why do they have the windy ones at the bottom, top, but it's because of tension that you need to get to that
pitch.
Okay. Everybody who's listening to this is thinking, but everybody knows that.
Well, no,
And I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I played about with it, and you can just about get away, put a set of strings together that would go on a guitar, and they'd all be 6 plain strings, but the tensions are all very uneven. It just feels weird. It's uncomfortable to play.
Yeah.
Because the tension's just so high. Because you've got to use such a thick string, and there's got to be a certain amount of tension on the string to make it sing.
Okay. So you were talking when I first got here. You were saying that you do custom tunage.
Yes.
How do you make that? Again, is it purely down to the thickness of the original string?
Yeah, it's a combination. It depends what you're aiming to achieve.
Well, give me an example where somebody would want special tuning.
Perfect one would be somebody like John Gomm, who's one of our endorsees, fingerstyle acoustic guitarist who uses a lot of open tunings, which the standard guitar is tuned E, A, D, G, B, E, which is the traditional tuning, but an open tuning would be something like a dadgad tuning, so it's D, A, D, G, A, D. So it's technically a chord when you just strum all 6 strings on their own.
Yeah.
Very popular with fingerstyle guitarists, because then you can be playing melodies and bass lines and everything all at the same time. He's a percussive fingerstyle player, so he uses the guitar as a drum as well while he's playing.
Oh right. On an acoustic.
On an acoustic. All the time playing a bass line, a melody, chords, bass, snare. It's remarkable if you just Google it. He's got a track that's had well over 1 million views.
Wow.
Stephen Fry and everybody's commented on it.
And what's his name?
John Gomm.
John Gomm. G-O-M.
Yeah. Double M.
Oh, double M.
Yeah.
Okay.
G-O-double-M.
So he wants a specific...
Yeah, because of his specific open tunings and wanting to be able to get good bass notes, he was, with other brands, just going thicker and thicker and thicker with the strings so he could get the tension and get the string to sing, but it still wasn't quite what he wanted. So he'd heard about us. We started playing about with sending him different sets, and instead of just going thicker, we were putting a thicker core in.
Right, okay.
So it was the equivalent of a thicker string, but it wasn't an overall thicker string, so it was easier to play under the fingers. It gave you more versatility. Because of the thicker core, you've got a bit more tension without the mass, and it just reacts differently and gives you a different sound, and it was what he wanted. So he's got his own custom sets.
This is like proper string theory science, isn't it? It really is.
But again, the other thing is, we're happy to work with people, because people will say, I've got this idea, I've got a string, I've got a guitar, I want to tune it in a certain way with this style of strings because I'm aiming to get this type of sound, and will try to get that sound that's in their head that they want to produce with their guitar, because there's different types. We also do, where I said with the bass strings you put multiple wraps on to make a thicker string.
Yeah.
We also do that, but on standard size strings.
Okay.
So on a standard guitar set, it would have 2 wraps for each string rather than just one single.
Oh,
wrap.
okay.
And that gives it a warmer sound.
Yeah.
So if you're a jazz player and you want a nice warm, not bright jangly normal sounds, a warmer kind of tone, we can do that.
So I'm thinking that I go down the local music shop.
Yep.
They don't stock Newtone,
No.
for example, and you buy your Ernie balls,
Yep.
slinkies.
That's it.
Sorry to say that.
Yeah.
They don't do this kind of stuff, do they? Is this all mass produced?
That's it.
That's all mass
They have a
produced
machine that will make 3 strings at once.
Yeah.
And one person's operating 2 machines.
Yeah.
So they load it up. Very similar to this. Hook it on one end, attach the wrapping wire 3 times on one machine, hit go, turn around, unload one machine, set that one up, hit go, turn back around, this one's finished.
Billions of them in every
Exactly,
music shop. When we're talking about, okay, your man, I've forgotten his name already, it's gone.
John Gone.
John Gone.
Yeah.
He wanted a specific string for the way that he played.
Yeah.
We're looking at that. You've got an acoustic and electric
Yep.
hanging up over there. Does it matter about the material used for the nut or the neck or the headstock or what the guitar's made out
Well,
of?
that was the thing. He's using a very regular guitar. Normally, with the tunings that he's using, you would have a baritone guitar, so it would be a longer scale length. That's the conventional thinking. Now, I have my ideas that possibly luthiers were coming up with ideas to make the strings sound good in certain tunings, so they had to extend the length of the guitar to make it work because they were limited with what strings they could get. So he's using the standard scale guitar, tuning it like a baritone and making it sound like a baritone because of the strings that we're providing for him.
Okay. But does it matter about the material that the guitar's made out of? Or
Yes, that all has an effect. Again, that's another reason why we offer such a diverse range, is because you could have a guitar like that, which is a maple guitar, very bright wood, but it might be too bright for what you like.
Oh, okay. So you have warmer strings on
you
it.
put a warmer string on, tones it down, because everybody is guilty of buying a guitar for the way it looks rather than what it sounds like and how it plays.
Yeah.
So in that case, you get a guitar, you get it home, once you actually play it out of the shop, through your amp or acoustically, however you're used to playing it, and just realise actually this didn't sound how I thought it was going to sound, then rather than just selling the guitar, swapping it for something else, there's a lot you can do with the strings
to make that difference. And it would make a difference if you were amplifying it or playing it acoustic.
Exactly, but electric guitarists are very guilty of this. They'll use Ernie balls. They've always used Ernie balls. They're cheap, they're reliable, they'll always use them. But they'll go out and they'll buy 5 or 6 different cables to try. They've got a box of 20 effects pedals. They've probably got 2 amps. All because they're trying to get that tone in the head for what they want it to do, and you can actually get a lot out of a different set of strings.
I can't even eat, I can't even sleep. My tracing waves are judicial review. The banging of doors, the mopping of floors. But don't you forget I did this for you. I can't even eat, I can't even sleep. Now do you approve? Now what do you think?
That one that you've just made,
Yep.
within kind of seconds, and I might have to video that because
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
are not going to believe
Yeah, well,
how you've just
yeah.
done that. That was incredible. But the difference then, you don't use the windy strings, the phosphor bronze coated or wound strings on an electric.
No, because it's phosphor bronze, the material lends itself to acoustic instruments.
Okay, and you've got more strength in an electric
No,
for the string, or
the electric guitars obviously work with magnetic pickups, so the wrapping wire is nickel or steel, so it works. It's magnetic, so it works with the magnetic pickups.
yeah,
Where the phosphor bronze wire is not magnetic, and it's about getting a nice warm sound out of the wood and driving the wood.
gotcha. 12 strings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've mentioned 13 on a bass.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my head around that. So, 12 strings,
On an acoustic,
complicated for you to make, or
no, it's exactly the same because it's in octaves or unison, so you've got two of the same. And obviously,
But how do you test them when you're making them then? How do you make sure you've got the right one when you put it in the packet?
well, you size it.
Okay.
You know what size they are, and you know which size work at which tunings.
But all of them, and I know I've got my glasses
Yeah.
and whatnot, but most of them look the same
Oh,
diameter anyway.
Well, if,
so
if you get mixed up, we've got a micrometer.
Oh, right,
you can
okay.
size it up.
okay,
Yeah, because again, if you've got a 9 and a 9.5 there,
nine,
no way.
half a thou difference.
yeah,
And that would make a difference in the tone.
or feel mainly. It's
Yeah?
it's when it's the feel for the guitarist.
Okay.
That's what drives it at the end of the day. Is the guitarist playing what they want, how it feels to them.
Yeah. So do you get people coming in here and trying it out? Or do they just buy them in because the value of them?
Yeah, they buy them in.
Do you interview people then? Do you sort of say, what are you looking for in your...
Yeah, if they're ringing up, we will talk through all the options, because a lot of the time they're not used to having those options.
Yeah.
Because it's literally... people that are used to buying custom sets generally were buying 2 sets of strings in a guitar shop.
Yeah.
Or a pack of strings and a few singles to make it up and then
Yeah.
throwing some away.
Yeah.
So, but there's been a bit more of a drive for this kind of thing more recently, so there are a few other people selling custom available sets.
So somebody is that specialist in the way that they play and they want to get into... How did they find a man in Tansley? Is it purely on
it is
the internet now, but was it reputation
it's
from
reputation.
when you were in Hina in the co-op kitchen?
Yeah, it was in Hina and you were getting faxes from Japan with orders.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That must have been hard work in those days.
Well, it was exactly the same as here, yeah. I mean, when I joined, the reputation was there because it had already been going for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
And I introduced them to computers and the internet. So obviously once you get on the internet, it just takes off.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming that you're the axe smith of Tansley or Hina. You tell me you can play the guitar.
I'll play, yeah.
Oh, and crikey for that.
But Malcolm that set up the business didn't play a musical instrument at all.
No way. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Mind you get that, don't you? You get people who make chocolate biscuits, don't like chocolate or whatever, but you do play guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. And what type of music is it that you...
Rock,
Yeah?
bass,
Bass or lead guitar or...
bit of guitar, bit of bass. I used to play bass in bands, but at home you can't really just play a bass line on your own, so
No,
sit and
true,
play
it's a bit
guitar.
lonely,
So
isn't it?
but yeah, so I just play for my own amusement really now.
And do you have your own specialist string makeup?
No, I did play about with a few, but I settle on our lucidity balance tension sets now.
Lucidity balance tension set.
Yeah.
What? That'd be a great name for an album. So what's a lucidity tension?
Well, on a conventional set of strings, when you look at the tensions of the 6 strings, the 2 in the middle are generally a lot higher than the rest of the set.
Okay.
And it's like a bell curve if you map it out.
Yeah.
And we played about with doing low tension sets, and then when we was doing that, we realised actually it's very close when you measure it to almost being equal tension. So let's just go for equal tension. So the set was designed from the ground up, starting with the first string, which is the thinnest plain string. Measure the tension of that. Right, match it up with the second plain string. Let's look at some wound strings, measure them, and design them rather than going for the regular quarter wrap ratios that everybody's using.
Yeah.
Through industry wise, there's very little difference between manufacturer to manufacturer. But we were starting to play about with the core, so all the cores ended up much thinner than conventional sets. The gauges were all over the shop compared to what you'd expect to see on a guitar set. But it meant all 6 strings tuned to standard pitch were at the same tension, so they had the same feel.
Yeah.
They all had a new tone that was a lot more balanced tonally as well as physically. And they took off. They're like one of our biggest sellers now. We're now so the Lucidity is the electric guitar version, Heritage is the acoustic version, and we sell them in bucket loads.
I've noticed you've got a fantastic, I mean it really is a very, very cool logo.
Thank you.
Where do you get all that done? Is it you?
No.
Oh, right, when you said thank you, then I thought, there we go.
No, it's a friend of mine, a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Works at Trent Garages, Langley Mill.
Oh yeah,
on the
yeah, I know
buses.
it well, yeah.
And he works for them.
Yeah.
I was at school with his brother.
Yeah.
And he was a graphic designer, and he offered to help us out doing all the packaging.
It is very, very cool, I've got to say.
Yeah.
And the Facebook side. So, to contact you, you've got a website.
Yep.
www.newtonestrings.com. Fantastic. Facebook, we'll search for Newtone Strings.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's www.facebook, whatever it is.
/ Newtone
yeah, I never know what it is.
Or just put at Newtone Strings in.
Yeah.
On Facebook and Instagram at Newtone Strings.
And people can buy online.
Direct through we only sell now online, direct through the website.
Okay.
We've got a few shops in other countries, so we've got Japan, Australia, France, Germany, Canada and America. And we cut back. We've got a map on the world where we used to have everybody, but so we have cut back because we'd have like 2 in America. We were supplying British online retailers, but as it's a handmade product, there's a limited output that we've got.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of us.
Yeah.
There's only so many strings we can make in a day. And the good old Brexit thing, because of importing the wire from America, overnight 15% went on the prices of a pound against the dollar. So we took control back and just started selling online directly.
Okay. I've got to ask, what are the brush handles?
They're for when you're laying your sets out. So
there's 11 brush handles with hooks on.
6 hooks. That gives you a clue.
Oh right, okay. Remember you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got 6 strings on the guitar.
Yeah.
And you've got 6 hooks.
Yeah.
So we'll write out a sheet of orders.
Yeah.
So you'll be doing Heritage 10s. So first pole you'll put 25 10s, 25.
Oh right, okay. That's better than computers, isn't it?
Yeah, because you've got to get your cores out and laid out and ready, because we say everything is a slightly different size and slight variation.
So how many strings are you making a day?
In a day, 100 to 200.
Yeah.
Because say a lot of the time we're doing custom stuff, so it's literally one set for one person.
Yeah.
And then you'll be doing 25 sets of a standard like Heritage or acoustic set.
I know it's crude to talk about money, but is it infinitely more expensive to have your own set of strings?
No, we charge the same price.
Hang on a minute, you charge the same price
Unless
for
you're going
a custom
for
set?
An extreme gauge.
Yeah.
So if it's a standard acoustic set, standard tuning, it would be the same price as a standard set of strings.
That's incredible. Everywhere else would charge a lot more for a a custom set.
Because we're now only supplying direct,
Yeah.
we can afford to do that because we've got the markup available
Yeah.
to absorb those extra costs.
Yeah.
But then say we do charge in price brackets depending how thick the strings are
Yeah.
or how many strings you're having.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, just a tweak a set with a few
Yeah.
custom gauges here and there. It's not a great deal different to a standard set, so we don't charge any extra. It's not any extra work.
Yeah. And also another crude one. Have you sold any strings to somebody famous?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time. What?
Well, we already endorse bands.
You've also got to realise, because it's like my podcast,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
to be somebody I've heard of.
Have you heard of the
And
Levelers?
not the Human League, it's
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So the
The
Levelers, yeah?
Ralph McTell did the Streets of London.
No way. I've got a listener, John Izzard. He's absolutely fanatical about Ralph McTell.
Yeah.
He did the tour not long ago.
did,
I missed
he
it.
was there.
I missed it.
Yeah,
no way.
Buxton.
And he was using your strings.
Yeah. I've got a copy of his tab book, and it's not only is it just all the songs he plays, but it also helps. Got a section of the front that's got advice for learning to play
Yeah.
and stringing the guitar, and there's a whole page about choosing the right strings, and he sings lyrical about Newtone.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
That's advertising you can't buy.
Yeah, exactly.
So Levelers, Ralph McTell.
John Verity from Argent.
No way.
We've recently got.
Hold Your Head Up is
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of my favourite songs of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, we've sold strings to people like Billy Connolly, because he was
Yeah.
big friends with Ralph McTell back in the day. They used to play
Okay.
in bands together.
Banjo, or was that?
It was banjo, yeah.
Yeah.
Now they put me on the spot, I've got to remember.
Oh no, you're all right. No.
Uh,
There's obviously the secrets
yeah.
to be held back. So
There's Becky Langan. She was on Guitar Star, the Sky Arts series,
yeah,
and John Gonn was on there as the mentor.
yeah.
And so she came through as one of the quarter finalists, semi-finalists.
Yeah.
So we've got her as well.
Are you supplying 3-second fuse? They record round the corner. I'm going to give them a shout. I'm going to give them a shout out apparently, because I got a message after I mentioned this to them. They said you are going to mention that I'm playing one of their tracks as well on the show. So they said you got to mention that we practice just round the corner.
Yeah, John
so,
the drummer sells me his chicken feed. That's how we ended up here. We were buying his chicken feed from
Oh,
Horse and
right.
Hen,
Yeah.
and just happened to say, "Is there any units going around here?" Because Casino's full of industrial units, but they weren't any available
Yeah.
at the time.
Well, the Fusers play above there, so they've just got a new
Yeah.
single out. So
Yes.
I'm playing that on the show. So I said I'd give them a shout anyway. But and they're doing Matlock Bath Music
Yes.
Festival. Are they tempting you to go down there?
I don't know. I've not heard anything, but
Yeah, it's 2
yeah.
weeks' time.
Yes.
Yeah. So it should be an event now if the weather holds out.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, it's mainly indoors, isn't it, in all the pubs?
Yeah. There's quite a few outdoor things because the weather's been fantastic for the last couple of years. So fingers crossed it still shines.
Yeah.
But
should
that's
do.
incredible. You've just opened my eyes when
Yeah.
it comes to guitar strings. So I hope I've opened your eyes when it comes to podcasting.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how it happens,
Mrs.
isn't
is a
it?
big podcast fan. She
Is
listens
she?
to hours of podcasts.
There you go. Well, I'll be a challenge for her then. Hey, thanks ever so much
No
for
problem,
this.
thank
Really,
you.
really do appreciate it.
There you go. Now you know all about Gigglytar Strings. All the details will be up on the Facebook page. That's the Casimir Engine Show podcast. At Casimir Podcast on Twitter. At Casimir Podcast on Facebook. I'll see you next week.
The Casimir Engine. Reliably mediocre.